Hello and welcome to Hot Chips Year Now Review. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing a tech review and we're reviewing a
Huawei P8 Lite.
Huawei
Huawei.
Alright. Which is a cell phone.
Which is it's an
mobile.
Android cell phone.
Yeah.
It's our first tech review, which is nice. You guys at Huawei have sent us through.
So, as per usual, what's your experience with it so far?
I put in maybe a day's worth of use with it.
Yeah.
I am an iPhone user, and I've got the camera that we're filming on, the 6S. So I've gone from a high-end, what is classified as a high-end cell phone, through to what is classified as a mid-range cell phone. So it's quite interesting to see the difference, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So that's my kind of experience.
And Theo,
who has not?
So I've used it kind of on and off for a multitude of things over the last sort of week and a half. So I haven't really done one big PlayStation with it, but I've done several over time. Which that was great testing battery life in particular. And my experience with phones is sort of I'm very much in this price range, in the P8 Lite price range. So I have used several phones in the same price range and kind of get what that audience sort of wants to play with and what they usually are allowed to play with and what they usually get them.
and did you have any other odd experiences? Such as sticking your SIM card inside of the phone?
So, I've never seen, well, apparently this is a big Apple thing. Of course it is. But I've never used a SIM tray to put your SIM card into a phone. So I took out the tray and I watched a friggin' video on how to use this damn thing.
Which is the best part.
No, I did. Which is the worst part about it. Because I didn't understand that it was in another language as well. Because that was the only one I could find. So they were like...
to be fair, it didn't come with
captions.
In the box that the phone came out, didn't come with
no instructions. I was trying to figure this out blind with a video in another language. And so they didn't show... They only took out the little loading bay. And they only showed it suddenly full, and I thought it was just the SIM card and just putting it in. So I grabbed my SIM card, I was like, you know what, I'll just stick it into the phone without the tray and got it stuck.
Yeah.
And then, so for a day I couldn't use my phone, and a lovely friend of Amy's, big shout out to him, I won't name him. I don't even know if I can. No. Who is he? Great bloke. He got it out for me.
So this just shows how well suited we are to doing a tech review.
It's incredible, yeah. So I just whacked my SIM card in there and almost got it stuck and never usable again. Yeah. Almost destroyed the phone. But everything's okay now. We're good.
Alright, so you guys know the format. These two will each get 30 seconds to review the phone. And then give it a year or a nah, and then we'll go into it a bit more and we'll break down the key points.
We'll talk so fast, it's going to keep up with me.
Basically, the time I spent with it showed to me that the phone was fast. It was a decent speed phone for what I was expecting. I've seen the Galaxy S3 and I've seen how slow that can be. And I've seen the high-end sort of iPhones as well. And I was expecting something more along the lines of the S3, and I was pleasantly surprised. You could switch between apps pretty quickly. My biggest gripe with the phone was that the brightness level, no matter what I could do, really got it up to a level I was happy with. And I don't know if that's to save on battery life. Camera seemed good, although obviously not at the high end. But for what it's worth, for its price point, I was pretty happy.
Damn, that was no time at all.
No time
wow.
at all. But we can continue talking about once.
Alright, your 30 seconds starts now.
Bam. Okay, it's got a decent amount of battery life, and I think that's based on the software, not the actual battery, because the battery's smaller milliamp. It's got an iffy camera to me compared to a lot of the stuff that I've got in that kind of price range. There's no click button, and it is a tap button, but it's an on-screen pull-up tap button, which makes it really hard to use apps, in my opinion. I found it really difficult. Got my SIM card stuck. That sucks. Double tap on, so it doesn't have double tap on feature. I really love that in new phones at the moment. It's got a bright, nice screen, I think, but it is difficult to play around with there. And I think it's just no! There's so much more to say.
Okay, we'll talk about it after we give the year now.
So Reagan, yeah or nah?
For its price point, I'm giving it a year. Yeah, I think it's a kind of phone I think anyone could throw a few $100s down and get something that's going to work quickly and easily. Yeah. Unless you don't know how to enter a SIM card.
And Theo?
I think it is decent, but in terms of its price range, there are better options. Much better options. So, for me, my review sounded pretty good. I went through the good stuff first. It was great. Yeah. I'm going to say nah. I'm going to say nah.
All right.
I've only ever said nah in these reviews so far. I'm not going well.
To find out why that doesn't hang around. Or subscribe button. Yeah, good. Why nah?
Why not?
What are your big pain points?
I'm just going to finish off my list first to try to get an
order.
order.
You don't have to speed it in now. You can just take your time.
I can take my time. So one of my pet peeves on it is it's got a very sharp case design. It's very angular, and that didn't work well with.
I thought it was a really nice thin phone.
It is a very nice thin phone. It's very sleek, but it is quite angular in its design, and there are quite sharpish edges compared to most phones. I mean, it's not like it's razor sharp, so it's not going to cut you or anything. But I think in your jeans,
can you imagine a phone that does cut you?
I cut myself my iPad once.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I dropped it on my
like
elbow
paper cut.
for blood.
Wow. You think you got rid of the paper cuts, but the girl's going to start attacking you now.
See, before we move on to your next point, I like the sharpness of it. I found it was, with the more curved phones, including the latest iPhones, they're a little too slippery.
All right.
I feel like the sharp
nice.
edges give you something to hold on to.
The grip is nice. Yeah, I just think in terms of storage options, it's either dangerous to other things or it'll start ripping your pants and things like that. So they don't really work for me. I was surprised to hear that you said it was fast, but I guess you were saying fast within its class. Fast for what you thought it was worth, compared to a lot of the phones that I have in the class I tested out, I did speed test against it. Yeah. And for a phone that I owned that was, half a year to a year old, it was going faster than this phone in the same price class.
And it was running Lollipop as well. And I felt it was running it. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with the speed. I haven't ever really spent much time with the sort of mid-range phones. Without comparison, it's what I was expecting. Oh, sorry, better than what I was expecting.
Better than what you were expecting. Yeah, I think without comparison, it is nice. Yeah. It does work quite well. But with comparison, it was as much as 10 seconds behind some of the uploads for me. But that was some intensive apps, so it's kind of unfair. If you're a heavy app user, it's a reasonably slow phone, I think. Okay. But if you're kind of light on that kind of stuff and you just use calls and regular use Facebook, Twitter, whatever, it works. It does its job. Then it's very light compared to similar phones in its class actually, and that may play to the fact that it is quite thin. It is quite well built. It's got really relatively thin materials, but it's still got a good finish to them. It actually has a lower resolution. It's sitting on 720 compared to the 1080 that you can get in the same class. Like you can get 1080 screens. Yeah,
and that's a big thing. It's interesting that my experience 720 is good. Like your iPhone sits at 720.
It's fine.
And it's only the pluses that go up to the 1080 screen size.
Yeah.
So it's about the same screen size as the latest iPhones.
All right. Yeah.
Same resolution. My issue, when you seem to think the opposite, was the screen brightness. Right. I just did not find I could get it to a level that I was happy with.
All right. I played around with it a bit. Yeah. I mean, I've got very different phone kind of usage, but it did seem low for its fullest setting. It did seem low. I'm going to admit that. But I never really have a problem with brightness. So
I'm normally like brightness full up.
My eyes are incredible, so my hearing is atrocious though, so I make up for it. I've compensated, my body's compensated. The low resolution doesn't bother me, but it does have a reasonably low processor for the price that it is. If you just comparing standard rates. And it's also just got standard RAM in terms of how much you can have open and what you can do with it. Multitasking is a bit tricky, I feel, on the phone. Other than that, the software that it works on, it's great for battery life, and it still works. But not having that tap home button and the lower Android buttons and things have to pop up on the screen. It just made it so hard to use.
So software buttons instead of hardware buttons.
Yeah, well, like even on the current phone that I have right now, I'm not going to say it out just to compare phones and everything. It's the same price class, but it still has they're touch buttons, but they're physically underneath the screen actually. Sorry. And so you don't have to summon them to make things happen. But it's really hard in an app where one of the actions also summons the back button, and then you have to click something underneath it, and you're like waiting for it to go down and. That just really pissed me off that I had to sort of wait for it to go down, or I had to play around with it, shake it to do things.
So any final thoughts?
My final thoughts is I thought for the price point, if you haven't touched an Android phone before, if you're looking at going to Android away from maybe an older iPhone and you're wanting to get something a little more modern and something at a reasonable price instead of shelling out for the big stuff, I don't think you could go wrong with it. I think you might be right, there may be better phones in that price point, but if you haven't experienced them before, I think you've got a pretty solid phone right there.
Yeah. To be fair, when I say price class, I mean the phones that you could get that are like the perfection of this price class are about $20 more expensive.
Right. Okay,
so it's a dinner out.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that big of a deal, but
Yeah.
to some people it may be. So yeah, just $20 difference, and you'll get quite a much better phone. But it is a good phone.
Yeah.
Like, it still works, and it looks nice, and it does good stuff.
Yeah.
It weighs. It's got a good weight to it. But yeah, SIM cards. They get stuck in them.
Some guys,
Read the manual and know how these things work. Talk to someone with an iPhone. I don't even know.
Alright, well, there you have it.
Cool. You happy with that?
Yeah, I am.
Would you
I've learned a thing or two. I think I'd try it out. It sounds like, you know, someone that was an iPhone user, you think that, you know, they are the bee's knees. But then you pick up something that's half the price and it does the same job relatively. So they are quite impressive.
Yeah.
I have had a little bit of a play around with it, and I was like you. I was surprised at how far phones had come for their price range. And for you know, $350 to $400, if that's all you want to shell out for a phone, you can get a really good phone for that price.
Yeah, you get an incredibly good phone.
One of those. Right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and it was informative.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us on our first ever Tech Year review.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Cool. Thanks.
Ding, 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 ding.
Silence.